Om Gam Ganapate Namaha, Kaliyugada Kalpataru. Fourth Delight, Sri Vyasa Yati Sarvabhouma, authored by Raja S. Gururajacharya. Chapter 2, The Abode of Vedavyasa Deva. A group of ascetics from the Himalayas, the sacred inhabitants of Badrikashrama, the ultimate seat of spiritual wisdom, the enchanting garden of the righteous, the auspicious abode of Sanatana Dharma, knowledge, art, and culture, and the embodiment of purity, are on a pilgrimage. These holy souls, illuminating the horizons with their brilliance, shine like great souls who have comprehended the 14 worlds with their intense penance. As they embark on the Badrinath pilgrimage, admiring the natural beauty and marveling at the diverse creation of the Supreme Being, they came across a lake. This lake, capable of purifying all worlds and akin to the nectar reservoir, is called Amritadhara. Its grandeur is indescribable. The lake is as majestic as the navel lotus of Mother Earth, as splendid as jewel of Aryavarta, and as magnificent as the terrestrial mirror of the forest goddess. It gleamed like Vasudeva, adorned with the series of forests, and like Adishesha, adorned with countless flowers bearing the weight of the earth. The sight of swans sitting on the lotus flowers in this lake resembled the assembly of Brahmadeva, seated in a lotus posture, surrounded by a group of great ascetics. In an area around this lake, where the ascetics were bathing, the water droplets rising like buds appeared as a succession of accumulated sins. The water had become muddy due to the bathing of the rishis and sages. The creeping of birds there sounded like the proclamation of the lake's title as the bestower of salvation. Observing this immensely glorious Amritadhara lake with joy, the ascetics saw a grand hermitage to the north, resembling the earthly abode of Brahma. In the hermitage, there was no natural enemies among the animals. The friendliness among the animals, birds, and creatures amazed everyone. The hermitage, with its natural beauty, seemed to challenge the Mount Meru, the abode of the Saptarishis. There, the sages' disciples were sitting on a soft darba grass, reciting the Vedas. Their Vedic chants resonated far and wide. The hermitage, adored by such ascetics, were enchanting. Many householders lived in leafy huts there, engaging in Vedic studies, food offerings, deity worship, sacrificial rituals, and other sacred activities, eagerly waiting to welcome and bless visitors. Numerous places in the hermitage hosted recitations of Puranas and Harikathas, with many people listening attentively. The hermitage itself, by mere sight, could absolve sins. What more can be said? With its extraordinary and boundless, marvelous qualities, it amazed even the four-faced Brahma. There was a large banyan tree there, beautifully grown and spreading its extensive leaves in all directions, making it a sight to behold. Under the tree, the pilgrimages saw a radiant figure, worshipped like the enchanting Chandrachuda, that is Shiva. At the base of this vast tree, the platform smeared with cow dung appeared greenish and shone like it was made of emeralds. Hundreds of leopards, deer, and black buck skins were spread on the platform, and on a soft darba seat, a highly luminous great soul was seated. They, possessing auspicious thoughts, held in their hands a palm leaf manuscript with open pages. Their eyes shone like bees playing on a lotus face. These eyes, affirming the distilled meaning of the Upanishads, made them shine like the sun. Their golden nose, resembling a blooming oleander leaf, and the flame of the lamp of knowledge dwelling on their face, was resplendent. Their forehead, adorned with slender upright mark of gopi chandana paste, sparkling like a thin thread of fine gold, accentuated by the lotus beauty of their matted hair, looked magnificent. Their eyes, embodying the renunciation of worldly desire, bore the deep resolve and emphasis of remembering Hari. Through their various forms of Rama and Krishna, their forms inseparable from their flowing compassion, they glanced around with eyes turned red from intense devotion and detachment. Appearing like saffron ropes of renunciation, they were teaching scriptures to the gathered noble people, their sacred thread shining across their chest, the grandeur of their chest, divided by the brilliance of the sacred thread, was indescribable. Their waist, covered with black antelope skin, was beautiful. Beside them shone a water-filled kamandala. These great ascetics, always served by parrots like a pomegranate grove, were revered by Shuka sages. They were enchantingly radiant with supreme brilliance, their eyes resembling blooming lotuses, prominent noses, and the sweetness emanating from their face with its expressed calmness, filled with six virtues, were seen by the humble pilgrim, rishis, and sages who all simultaneously bowed with devotion and reverence. The disciples of Sri Badrinarayana provided seats and other forms of hospitality to the ascetics. Satisfied, this ascetic stood up, while purifying them with the nectar-like side glances of compassion. Sri Vedavyasa Muni spoke sweetly with a pleasant voice. Sri Vedavyasa, O revered ascetics, it has been a long time since you have come. Welcome. Are you in good health? Are your duties and rituals being performed without any obstacles? Is your ascetic land free from the danger of wildfires? Are the services to your guests and visitors being carried out properly? Are they satisfied? Is your devotion to Vishnu growing strong? Rishis and sages, O Supreme Lord, filled with virtues, how can there be any misfortune for us who are nurtured by your stream of compassion? However, O Lord, the revered Narada, the foremost among devotees, recently said, the world is increasingly filled with sinners. This has troubled our minds. O Lord of Lords, we are seeking your wisdom. Once, when some ascetics asked you about the duties of different ages, you foretold, in the first phase of the Kaliyuga, impostors will disguise themselves in trustworthy appearances and disturb the ocean of dharma like a whirlwind. O Great One, despite this, why is that now, like a potent poison, like many shadows of the evening, and like the smog of a great fire, the forces of irreligion and false doctrines are growing strong and spreading? When will this be pacified? We humbly request your guidance. Bhagavan, Sri Vedavyasa, with a slight smile on his face, addressed them thus. O foremost of sages, you have asked a timely question. Fearing the heretics might tarnish our sacred history, do not worry. Once, Manimantha, the demon king and stealer of lives, fought with Bhimasena, the son of Vayu, and was defeated in battle. Distressed by this, Manimantha performed intense penance towards Sri Rudradeva, the preceptor of the world, and pleased the Lord of Uma with his worship. Being highly pleased, Chandrasekhara said, O demon, we are delighted with your penance. Ask for a boon, and we shall grant it. At this, the demon, desiring to defeat Bhimasena, who was immensely powerful and an incarnation of Vayudeva, requested, grant me the boon to defeat Bhimasena. Seeing the demon's request for an impossible boon, Lord Rudra, with a gentle laugh, responded, O chief of demons, you ask for an impossible boon. How can anyone defeat the chief of vital forces, who is endowed with 6 supreme qualities, Lord of the 7 worlds, and the foremost devotee of Sri Murari? Yet, as you have pleased me with your sincere devotion and penance, I must honor my promise to grant a boon. However, no one can defeat the great Bhimasena by strength. Instead, I will grant you the boon to create a new deceptive doctrine that will temporarily obscure the principles of Vayudeva, thus weakening the knowledge of truth for a short period. Be content with this boon. So saying, he granted the boon. Thus satisfied, the demon was granted the power to obscure the two principles temporarily by creating a deceptive doctrine, Sri Vedavyasa. Then Manimanta, endowed with various magical powers and strengthened by the boon from Tripurantaka, that is Shiva, took birth in the Brahmin lineage to accomplish this mission. It was this Manimanta who initiated a new doctrine, contrary to Vedic principles, in the form of Mayavada. It was through him that the Vedic path was undermined, causing people to struggle in their pursuit of liberation. Due to this situation, Vayudeva had to incarnate to suppress Manimanta's deceptive practices. In the past, Vayudeva incarnated as Hanuman, the servant of Sri Ramachandra, to destroy the exceedingly arrogant king of demons, Ravana, and his lineage. Later, he incarnated as Kunti's son, Bhimasena, who pleased Sri Krishna Paramatma by killing the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra with his formidable mace, shining with gold. Finally, Vayudeva took the form of Srimad Madhvacharya, known for his profound Vedic practices and as the embodiment of supreme power for the entire world. According to our prophecy, he composed the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, which cannot be refuted by others. O sages, even now, the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, like the powerful sun, remains unclouded by the deadly Rahu in the form of deceptive Mayavada, which emerged from the revered boon of Tripurari, that is Shiva. Very soon, in the village of Bannuru, on the banks of Kaveri river, a couple named Lakshmi Devi and Ramacharya, who are devoted to my worship and are great devotees, like the sage couple Arundhati and Vasishta, will be blessed with a son through the grace of our worship. This son, adored with supreme knowledge, surpassing all others, will emerge from their sacred lineage. In this son, Sri Mukhya Deva, who carries our command like a crown jewel on his head, will manifest once again in an empowered incarnation. This boy, filled with the energy of Mukhya Deva, will act as a human, fulfilling the wishes of Sri Brahmanya Tirtharu. He will astonish the entire world with many wonderful deeds, moving the speed of a serpent, dispelling darkness with rays like sun, cooling the heat like the rain clouds, curing diseases like a physician with medicine, and eradicating false doctrines prompted by Mayavada with his commentaries rooted in ancient knowledge, thus establishing all dharmas. Therefore, you need not be afraid. Quickly, the propagation of the true doctrine will take place, and the virtuous will be uplifted, bringing blessings to the righteous, declared Sri Vedavyasa Deva, offering assurance to the sages and to all followers of Vedic principles. Having received these blessings and assurance, the sages, after bowing to the blessed Sri Vedavyasa Deva, joyfully returned to their respective ashrama, successful in their quest with fulfilled desires. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.